I'm CT. When I'm not hosting podcasts, I live in the real world. I mean, everybody has to have a job, right? Mine just happens to be CS, customer service. You know, solutions, relationships, while keeping my team pumped up and motivated to keep a constant connection with each person that has chosen to stop into our location. Episode number 99, Wilted Roses, Calls to Corporate, and Wrongful Play. This is C.T.C.S.
Transition walk, day number 1 out of 4. Man, a transition walk is what I take every day when I have to transition between being a podcaster in the studio, talking with people of creativity and fame, and then I have to transition my way into thinking customer service, finding solutions. And so, I learned that in order to be able to do both positions without there being some sort of internal war, you got to take a walk, dude. You got to take a walk and you got to let nature move through you so that you can cleanse everything that once was in that production studio, because it has nothing to do with a grocery store. And oh my God, there's more drama in that grocery store than when you're talking with somebody on the phone or on Zoom that doesn't like what you're saying. In the car driving to CS, one of the things that I make sure that I do not do is look at the schedule that is planned out for us the next day. The reason being is because I don't want to know what team players are on that list. Come on, I'm just like anybody else. You have your favorites, and you have those that really, you know, they're gonna bring you down. They're absolutely emotional vampires. And so I'm like maybe less than a mile from the store itself, and my mind is going, okay, is this going to be a gift of a day, or is this going to be a nightmare? And you know what? In all honesty, you know what my first response was? Dude, it's your choice. You can either make it a nightmare or a great day. And the brand new week starts off with a scanning error. 2 of them. 1 and 2. And that always makes me really nervous because, you know, some of these big time stores are getting in trouble for having the wrong prices. They're getting fined huge numbers because the price that's on the actual product doesn't match what's going through the register. And so I just had 2 in a row. That's how my day starts. You know what this is? That lady's shit. Yeah, well, she goes, you know, she gives you all these cards, yep, and she says, I'll be right back. Well, it's been 10 minutes. So, you know, of course, I'm sweating up a storm right now thinking I'm going to be the one that's going to be buying these damn tickets.
She usually comes back, but I mean,
but still, you can't sit there and, you know.
Sweat, because that's what, $14?
$14, yeah.
That'd be some damn way.
It's our first edition of What Would You Do? Real life situation that happens inside the grocery store. And the question is, what would you do in this situation? We had a guest that came in with 1 wilted rose, and it came from a dozen red roses. Okay? Here's the thing. I said, do you have a receipt? No, I just want to exchange them. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. But what's going on here is that, did you buy them from this store or a different store? She goes, I really don't remember. And as I was looking at the actual package for the bouquet of roses, the part of it that says that we guarantee these roses until everything else on the sticker looked great, but that part of it was gone. Okay, so I've set you up. What would you do? Would you go for the full exchange? Here's what we did. We went over to the floral department and had them explain that you can't just exchange these flowers out. I need a receipt, and I also need to make sure that it said that you got it within the 5 days that those flowers are guaranteed. The things that people say.
All right, so if you were going to explain to somebody new that was going to be working with me today and I wasn't around, what do I do that you would try to be like, hey, just so you know,
you'd like to run the floor like a true football game.
Okay, thank you for that, but I was going more towards the weird noises that I make.
You do make a lot of weird noises.
And so people have been like, oh, you got Tourette's? And I'm like, no, I'm just weird. And so our special needs bagger heard me, and he said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm just making noises from time to time. I make noises and can't.
Yeah.
And he said, do you have autism?
Oh, wow.
And he does.
He does, yeah.
And I said, no, sir, I don't. I said, but my brother does. And he said, well, there's a really high chance that you have it too, so you probably do.
Wow.
And I said, thank you. And he walked away, and I just kind of laughed, but it was funny.
That was a very, I mean, it was.
He doesn't really have a filter.
Yeah.
And but he's very honest. And I have some of the best conversations with him versus regular people in society.
When it comes to eggs, a common problem that we consistently have is that people will come up to the front and say, I saw the sign back there. It said that it was 2 for $7. Why did it charge me $4.95? Well, what happens is they're seeing large eggs, and then next to it are the extra large eggs. Now, they're either saying, okay, maybe I can pull one off on these guys up here in the front, or they really are making an honest mistake. I'll lean on that, but that is a common problem where they're always getting the extra large eggs mixed up with the large eggs. I got to give you an update on what happened with the woman, and where they said that they wouldn't cut into something. What it wasn't ribs, it was red potatoes. So it was her southern accent. And so the produce wouldn't break into a bag of potatoes and dump them out there. They're out there anyway, but they're just out of them on the counter. And so they said, no, I'm not going to open up a bag just for you. And so then our GM goes back and says, screw this, it's only a couple of bucks. He comes back with an entire bag and just gives it to her.
So I'm still lost. What did she want from the get-go?
She wanted red potatoes, the little red potatoes.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any back there in the normal produce. And so she asked, can you just cut this one open and spread them out? They're the same exact potato. And the produce department said, no, we don't do that here.
Oh, okay.
And so then the manager goes back and he says, not only do we do it, that I'm going to give her a free bag of potatoes.
Yeah.
For, inconvenience.
Well, yeah. I mean, you think maybe they misunderstood her too?
No.
That sounds about right.
We're calling 911 right now. We have a gentleman that's out in the lobby right now that is asking for service, medical service. And so the incident right now is it looks like that he's suffering from something. I don't know if it's heat exhaustion, but he keeps grabbing his chest. Being a heart attack survivor, you look at things like that. The most interesting thing about this gentleman is that he is wearing a hospital gown. And so we were asking him, what's going on here? Is this just something that he's wearing? And he says, no, he was just in the hospital for a mental breakdown. Keep you posted. Transition walk, day number 2 out of 4. Going in late today. Oh, yeah. I got to close. That means I got to deal with the wild-ass people that come at 5 minutes before 11. Hey, I want to give you an update of what happened yesterday with a gentleman that came in that claimed he was in a lot of pain, and can you please call 911? It took medics probably about an hour and 20 minutes to make it to the grocery store. What we did with the gentleman is that we put him in a very comfortable chair, very nice and cool. We got him some watermelon, and he wouldn't have any water though, but he kept complaining that he was in a lot of pain and breathing really weird. But when they did arrive, here's what happened. The medics that came in, Husan. So this is where he came tonight, huh, Husan? And it was explained to us that he does this about 2 or 3 times a week. Walks into a place, says he's in a lot of pain, please call. And this is what happens. And so first time we've ever had to deal with it. And first time that I've seen somebody do this. So it was definitely a learning experience. But we're on this transition walk right now, digesting a lot of stuff, man, in this forest in South Charlotte, North Carolina. Everybody goes through a transition. Are you listening to yours? 2:54 p.m., still on the road trying to get to the grocery store. I remember the days when I first started at the store that I would get really unbelievably nervous about not getting to the store before 20 till or even a quarter till because, the traffic problem in the city is just through the roof wrong. But I would get nervous, the fear of being late. But because so many people are allowed to be late, I think what it does is it desensitizes my passion to be on time, to be that time whore that I am. It's like, dude, no reason to get worked up. Nobody else is on time. I don't like that feeling because my daughter lived in California and they always believe that 15 minutes late is really on time. It's back to school time. We've lost 7 people on our team, and that means that everybody that's on the register today, it's all customer service. There's no other person on our team except for customer service. It scares the hell out of me, man, because if you don't have a depth on your bench, how are you supposed to win a Super Bowl? All right, we're about ready to go through the basket right now. So we have baby Pampers is what we do, a box of 92 diapers. We have 3 Ultras, cases of beer, a Modelo case. We have Huggies, and we have a lot of shrimp. So we're going to find out what the big number is here. $280 worth of groceries. So, but what's so funny, though, is that when we got it, it's just, I'm not stealing anything. So it's like, okay, then let's put it back for you then. blue-haired lady comes in, says, about 2 weeks ago, I got some Asian bar food, and it wasn't in my bags. And so
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I want my money back.
Got a receipt?
And no, she does not. That's what I'm going to go look up right now to find out she has the receipt.
Oh, she's not going to be able to. She's got to have proof of payment.
Okay.
Because that's what the managers are going to tell you. Yeah.
Right, she's already threatened me by going to corporate.
Well, she can go to corporate because you can show her our policy down there.
Yeah.
And it says you got to have. I mean, I understand it's only a salad bar item, but it's not.
Anybody can come back and say,
why is she coming back 2 weeks later?
Yeah. When I've seen her in the store several times.
Is that the one lady that's really nice to me?
Yeah. Hi, Bill.
Oh shoot.
Hi. So I'm going to pawn her off to you.
Well, I'm going to give it to her. I'm just telling you. I am. Because I mean, that's I can't. I don't know how to explain.
You don't want to ruin your reputation.
Well, yeah. I mean, so if I deny it to her and I say, I need payment, she's going to say, well, you're calling me a liar. Right?
Oh, God.
She's just someone that randomly came in here.
No.
Right.
This is the one that, hi, Bill.
Right. So what do they teach us? So they give even you, me, all these guys that are on the register, we all have empowerment, right?
Yeah.
So if someone buys gallons of milk all the time, and then one day they come in, they don't have enough money, you can give them a gallon of milk.
Yep.
So I'm going to choose to
You want me to look up the receipt? Well, yeah, I have to figure out how much money it was.
If you would like to, go ahead.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, if she comes up here, I'm going to give it to her. So.
Okay, so like 3 minutes have gone by. You went looking for her.
And as soon as I came around the damn corner, she was coming around the corner the opposite way, and she goes, hey, sweet boy. And I said, hey, how are you? And she said, oh, I'm good. I said, don't worry, I've been called worse. And I walked away. She didn't say a word to me about it.
Yeah.
And then I heard her come up here to you, and what did she say?
She says she's going to corporate.
She's going to corporate. All right. Yeah. But she had all the opportunities. She could have said something to me.
I know, and it's still searching right there. But she's going to corporate.
And I would have given it to her. So she's not. I guarantee you she's not. She was trying to see if you were going to give it to her, and she didn't want to cause a whole bunch of trouble. So she let it go. I guarantee you that.
Well. What is today's date? August 19th? Look what just arrived. A gigantic crate full of Halloween candy, M&M's, Chuckles, Now and Laters, Laffy Taffy, Branches. Ooh, yeah. Even some cotton candy that's dealing with Halloween. Ooh, there's Pops over here, Tootsie Rolls, Dots. Ooh, yeah. Halloween candy is in the store. Transition walk, day number 3 out of 4. Ooh, it's been a day. A lot of people don't get to see the creative side of the self that I am. When creativity strikes me, I have to act upon it. And what I mean by strike, my mind never turns off. I'm consistently trying to create things, not because I want to, it's because I have to. I'm developing a new podcast. It's called Thanks for Being a Part of the Conversation. And the first episode went up, but man, it's not jiving with me. And the reason why is because I tried to tell it in a child story kind of way. And in listening to it, it's like, why? What makes you think that young adults wouldn't want to hear just a normal voice? Why do you have to use those vocal tones? It's the same thing when you're in CS. I'm not going to use any fake voices in trying to come up with a solution. But if I started talking in a way that overdoes things, then people would think that I'm a fake. You can't be a fake in CS. I'm always in a state of wonder when somebody brings back a used bottle of Astroglide. Astroglide is exactly what you think it is. It helps out some people who need some lubrication. But they bring it back to get their money back. Did they use it once and it just didn't feel right? I mean, what would be the reason why you would return a bottle of Astroglide? I don't know if it's my greatest weakness or my greatest strength, but when somebody asks me a question such as, hey man, how are you doing today? No, really, how are you doing? Oh, that's cool, but really, how are you doing? It's like, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? And number 2, what kind of an answer do you want me to give you? Because if you want me to give you the truth, I do have some darkness that I would like to release, but I'm trying to keep it as positive as possible, but what is it? And so I think that's my weakness or my strength, that, man, if you keep pushing me, I'm going to let you know how I'm really truly
thinking? It must be the in thing or the go-to thing today to ask people how they're feeling, what they're thinking, because I just got out of a little conversation with a manager on duty, and he was asking the same kind of stuff. Hey, man, how's everything going? Hey, when you were talking with so-and-so earlier today, what was their mindset like? And it's like, suddenly it's like everybody's interested in everybody else's moods and emotions and storylines and stuff. This is worth digging into. Many of the schools are opening this coming Monday, and this being a Saturday, a lot of people are going, hey, look, yard work is done. Get in there, buy some groceries. We need groceries so we can get, make those lunch pails for the kids and get them, rocking on Monday as they get back into class. So they're in here buying $400 and $500 for the groceries. Let me ask you a personal question. Maybe it's just my lifestyle. Where are you getting the money? I mean, maybe I graze when it comes to shopping, and I buy a little bit here, a little bit there. But man, to dump $500 just like that, I don't understand. That's every bit the reason why I continue to come to a grocery store. She's 82 years old. She's only been living here in the Carolinas for 3 weeks. She moved down because her 2 daughters are here in Charlotte, and she was missing her grandbabies. And so to escort her out to the car was a gift. And I'm so grateful that we got to know each other. And my thing is all about relationships. So I have a new friend. I do have a new friend. Less than 3 minutes later, I'm introduced to a little one, really a tiny one, inside the children's basket. And so I look at him and I go, beep, 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 beep. And I did not expect him to go beep, 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 beep back. So there for about 2 minutes, we're going beep, 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 beep. Man, people, I love them. Part of CS is cleaning up. We had a big family, maybe 12 kids. No, seriously, this is no joke. They come, crawling out of this gigantic, beat-up, ugly-looking, like some sort of Ford, I don't know what it is, like an international pickup, and dragging out every bit of the trash, 2 messy baby diapers, a bunch of candy, all out on the ground. They get out of the truck, and they start throwing bottles at the building, and then come into the store and just start wreaking havoc inside the store. And the manager on duty and security got them all together, escorted them out of the building. They come back in the building again, and then I go outside and I have to clean up those baby diapers. They stunk. Transition walk, day number 4 out of 4. Oh my God, my body is killing me. How do these people in retail and other businesses that involve the mind, body, and soul do more than 4 days? Had to get my God on today. Man, what a message. When you face a no way, in other words, you feel like that you're like, no way, I'm not going to do that. No way. My body hurts too bad. No way. That's when you lean on Yahweh. Yahweh means I am. The great I am is, the G guy. No way. I'm going into that store today with a bad idea, a bad mood, because I got Yahweh. I was on Facebook earlier today, and there was an advertisement for a hat. And on the hat, it says, Shit Show Supervisor. Immediately, I thought, I gotta buy this damn hat and wear it around the store. I still have the toughest time dealing with other people's reasons for not showing up for work. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way that I was raised in Billings and the chores that we had to do. And, if you didn't show up, well, you know what? There's a consequence. But the excuses that people use. And then if you are working with people and they do show up and they're not in the mood to show up, well, they're acting like they shouldn't have even showed up because, they're just standing there like a bump on a log. But how do you deal? How do you deal with the, that disconnection? Because they've got to somehow, some way make a connection with our guests, or the guests really won't feel comfortable and just want to get the hell out of here. Okay, what would you do? We're going to do that again, okay? So what we've got here is we've got a side of salmon, coho salmon, sashimi style. And the sign says $7.99, but the sticker on the frozen salmon is $25.99. What would you do if you were the consumer? Would you think that it was $7.99 because it's on the sticker, or what's on the label itself? Well, in going back and looking at it, it's $7.99 a pound, usually $9.99 a pound, but I'm not seeing that LB on there. So what would you do? I went back and I had to explain to her that it's $7.99 per pound. Took a picture of it, and she accepted that. All right, here's the situation. We're trying to figure out who's going to go to self-checkout at 4 o'clock, and Holly's already been eliminated because she was closest to 10. So now it's between new guy Bill and myself. So, Holly, you got that number yet? 1 to 10?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to say 9.
5.
God, that's where I'm going. I'm
on the register, so it's not like I won.
Yeah, but a self-checkout, I've got 9 machines I have to look at.
That's true.
Yes, we're always hiring because we're a grocery store and we need people. And something very interesting just happened. And this girl was supposed to come in and interview for a position in the bakery at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The time right now is 4:55, and she's calling right now saying, I can't make the 2 o'clock. Okay, hold on a second here. She was supposed to be here at 2 o'clock. It's 4:55. Can I innocently say, what time zone is she in? One of my favorite features with you is when we talk about our pet peeves.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna have to do this every week. You know, our pet peeves this week.
Okay.
Okay, parents who open up bags of Cheetos and let their little kids eat them, and I have to go over and sweep up the floor. I mean, they didn't go into the kid; they went on the floor.
Yeah, that's kind of consider. I mean, having them open and eating them, sure. I mean, but don't make a mess. I mean, I that's not always the case. I don't know, the kid was probably 10.
Yeah.
And was coughing and sneezing all over everything.
Oh, that's a pet peeve. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
And like I didn't know what to do. So I grabbed a bottle of sanitizer and I did it, but I was just like my parents wouldn't let me run that. They would mock me or better yet, they'd have been like, cover your damn mouth.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of getting popped in the head by your parents and stuff,
yes,
it never ever hurt. I was just more embarrassed, that I got popped upside the head.
Right. It's a little bit of both, right?
You did the worst thing in the world you could do to another person at a register.
What was that?
You took the person that was next. I was almost ready to grab that person, and you took them over to register number 5. Well, the cart behind them was just brimming with.
Oh no!
I mean, it was, and I think you did that on purpose.
It was not on purpose because I always grab. So our registers are next to each other.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me to look at your next customer and pull her literally a foot over to me than it is to look behind you. And plus, the person in front that had the big cart, the person in front of them had been waiting longer. So, but honest to God, I did not know they had a giant cart.
Because you broke the one rule that we talked about earlier when because when Leo he didn't want to leave doing the bagging part because they were wrapping things up. Well, I was wrapping things up, and when he just broke.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize. I didn't look at your register to see how far along you were, and then I just grabbed the next. I mean, it's been one of those days. We've done $140,000, and
it's only 10 after 7.
Yeah, and we're going to be open for 4 more hours. So, I mean, good Lord, it's just been one of those days, man. Everybody's had one of those days. You're losing your effing mind, right?
Hey, before we close out this edition of C.T.C.S., I got to tell you what happened about 9:55. A gentleman comes in. He's very much known for doing this. They bring back food items that are more than 1 month old and say, it's spoiled. And you're sitting there looking at it. It looks spoiled. It smells spoiled. Well, tonight he brought in a rotisserie chicken from April of 2023. It's August of 2023, and he's bringing it back to get his money back. He's known for this. And so he comes in and he says, we just got this, and it's spoiled. Now, he's got the receipt, but it's from April, which was how many months ago? But they continuously come back, and we've had conversations with him that say, dude, you're only given a certain amount of days.